Okay, when we're dealing with the human body, I found this site online. I thought had some great pictures of different type of cells that you'll be talking about in your lesson, so I thought we would just briefly go through them. Here you'll be talking about stem cells. Remember, those are kind of unique cells because they are not specialized, but they can develop into specialized cells, whether they be nerve cells or muscle cells. So, and it's kind of interesting too, there are adult stem cells and there are the fetal embryonic cells. Now, I did see let's see right here, kind of an it's nice when they have links in what you're reading then to go on to something else. There's a stem cell right there. Another picture of it. And here's where they talk a little bit about the adult stem cells versus the embryonic stem cells. Now, the adult stem cells are not quite as versatile as the embryonic stem cells, which means that they don't have the potential to differentiate into quite as many different types of cells as the embryonic stem cells can. So there, the potential applications of using the adult stem cells are not quite as wide as the embryonic stem cells from the demised baby. Now, certainly, though, they what's kind of interesting, let me see if it talks about it here. I think down here, since adult stem cells are derived from adult tissue, and of course with consent from the patient, there's very little ethical dilemma and discussion about adult stem cell therapies, whereas the embryonic stem cells, on the other hand, there's a huge debate out there about it because it has to do oftentimes with an aborted baby and obtaining the embryonic stem cells from the aborted baby or a demised baby, and so there's quite a bit more controversy, between the public and politicians and leaders, religious leaders, than there is certainly when it comes to just obtaining adult stem cells there. So anyway, there's a picture of a stem cell, and I love it down here where look at these pictures of these red blood cells. Red blood cells have a little concavity in them. It almost looks like a peanut butter cookie to me that you've pushed your thumb in and see the hole doesn't go all the way through, or maybe a donut that the hole doesn't go all the way through. So those are the red blood cells here. Excellent pictures, and there's little white blood cells here right around it. They also, if you click on here, you can see some pictures of the platelets, which are involved with blood clotting. It's a great picture of the platelets here. And so they're the smallest cell type in the blood, and what they do is they start clumping together to prevent, like if maybe a vein or an artery has broken, they kind of clump together, adhere to one another, and then that blocks the flow of blood from that damaged blood vessel. So those are great pictures of platelets. And then we can go back to our original page here. So we've looked at the red blood cells, the white blood cells, the platelets. Look at this, the fat cells down here. So when fat is being stored, those fat cells swell and become round in shape, and if the fat is being used, and the cells shrink in size. So, you could have, if you lost weight, you could still have those fat cells there. They're just not full of fat being stored. So those are a good picture of a fat cell. Here's some skin cells. Kind of interesting, isn't it? These are dead cells now, and they're continuously being sloughed off. In fact, I've heard that most of the dust around, you see kind of light dust. If you haven't swept for a couple of days, you see those little dust balls on the floor, that actually most of them are made up of sloughed off from people, sloughed off skin cells from the surface of the skin. So those are great pictures of skin cells. That one's okay. Let's go down here to the nerve cell. Look at the pictures of the nerve cell here. So here's the neurons. Remember, you have the cell body, and you have the axon, and you have all the dendrites. So that's a great picture of it. Let's see if they have a better picture by maybe going to one of these other sites. It's a nucleus. Let's see if they have that. Nerve cell. Let's just click on nerve cell. Let's see if they have another picture of it. So you can just go from site to site, and they have usually beautiful pictures. Oh, no, not a live one here. So there's that cell body. There's all the dendrites that actually bring messages into the cell body, and then they transfer down through the axon to the dendrites of another nerve. Okay, so that's where messages come in this way, down the axon to the dendrites. Remember, the dendrites are here, but these are the dendrites to other nerve cells. So that's not a real picture. I wonder if there is another real picture here we can find. Let's see here. And that might just throw us back to the same one. Well, let's see if we have anything else here. Nope. So looks like that might be it for the pictures of the nerve cell, but they certainly have some really good pictures of the nerve cells there. Right here. So you can see the cell bodies really well, and you can see all the dendrites really well, and the axon coming down and attaching to the dendrites of another cell. This is a great picture here. Look at the sex cells here. Here's the egg and all the sperm that are, so this is an image that depicts the sperm entering an egg. And really neat, as soon as one penetrates, the doors are shut to every other sperm that comes in. See if they have anything else here. Cancer cells. Remember, cancer is just really uncontrolled mitosis in a certain, a cell. For some reason, usually, cells will divide, but it's controlled. And when you have cancer, what has happened to the cells is they don't respond to the anti-growth signals. They lose the ability to, sometimes when a cell is diseased, that there's programmed cell death. The body actually kills that cell off because it's been diseased, and so that way it doesn't keep replicating. But for some reason, these cancer cells, there's nothing to really turn them off, and they actually have uncontrolled mitosis taking place. They just divide uncontrollably and then can spread to other parts of the body. So these are cervical cancer cells that are dividing, okay, and spreading. That mitosis is just is just taking place, and the body isn't shutting that down immediately, either through anti-growth signals or even programmed cell death when you have a cell that's kind of diseased. So I think that might be it for that. When you go to this site, you can certainly kind of tells you or shows you many other really neat places to go and look at pictures. So I hope that helps a bit and kind of raises an interest as far as you're going through your lessons on the human body system and on cells in particular, that there's some really neat either pictures or images here of different cells that we've looked through. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll be talking to you soon.